Hey, what's up, y'all? So in this video, we are going to be doing a little something different. We are talking about, paths to the conference championships. So basically, some of these uh, conference championship matchups have already been decided. Some of them are yet to be determined. Some of them have one team already in, and they're just awaiting their opponent. We're talking about what has to happen to wrap up these remaining conference championship races. So I'll tell you who I think is going to be in the different conference championships, and then I'm going to tell you who I think is winning the playoffs, and then I'm going to tell you who I've got winning in the playoffs. So anyway, so let's start with some group of fives. Let's do the you'll start with the Sun Belt Championship. Now it's still going to be TBD at TBD, right? This is the yeah, the Sun Belt does home field advantage for their conference championships. The MAC is the only team that does a neutral site conference championship. So anyway, so now for Coastal Carolina and James Madison are who remains in the Sun Belt East. So it's pretty simple. Coastal Carolina and James Madison are playing for the East. And then you've got in the West, you've got Troy and South Alabama. Now Troy already beat South Alabama earlier in the year, so now Troy wins the West. They just have to beat Arkansas State, and if not, they would need South Alabama to lose to Old Dominion. For South Alabama, they would need to beat Old Dominion, and they would also need Troy to lose to Arkansas State. So what I think it's going to be is Coastal Carolina beats James Madison, so they're in. And then Troy beats Arkansas State. So we would have Troy at Coastal Carolina in the Sun Belt Championship. Let's see, Conference USA. UTSA is already hosting. They're just awaiting their opponent. So it looks like it's either going to be North Texas or Western Kentucky. And North Texas does hold the head-to-head tiebreaker over Western Kentucky. So North Texas either has to beat Rice, and they're in, and if not, they would need Western Kentucky to lose to Florida Atlantic, and Western Kentucky needs to beat Florida Atlantic, and they would also need North Texas to lose to Rice. So what I think is going to happen is North Texas beats Rice, and it's going to be North Texas at UTSA for the Conference USA Championship. Now let's see what else. The MAC has already been decided. It'll be Toledo versus Ohio. In Ohio wins the MAC West. Ohio wins the East. Right, so we're gonna play in Detroit. So let's see what are the conferences. The Mountain West has already been decided. It's going to be Fresno State at Boise State. Now, the American Conference, the AAC. Now it's down to Tulane, Cincinnati, and UCF. Two of those three will be playing in the AAC Championship. Now you've got Tulane and Cincinnati already playing each other Friday. So anyway, so then whoever wins between Tulane and Cincinnati will host the AAC championship, and the winner will either host UCF, assuming that UCF beats USF. But if UCF were to somehow lose to USF, then the winner of Tulane Cincinnati would host the loser, and they would play each other in back-to-back weeks. So, but anyway, but what I think is going to happen is it is going to be UCF at Tulane. I think Central Florida beats South Florida, and Tulane beats Cincinnati. So you have Central Florida at Tulane. So, and in that matchup, I would have Tulane winning the AAC, right? And then I would have UTSA beating North Texas in the Mountain West. Excuse me, not the Mountain West, Conference USA. Yeah, the Mountain West, I would have Boise State beating Fresno State. In the Sun Belt, I would have Coastal Carolina beating Troy. And in the MAC, I would have, I guess I'll take Ohio to beat Toledo. And then, so now let's look at some of these Power 5 conferences. Let's see, we do have LSU and Georgia are playing in the ACC, in the SEC championship. And then, of course, you've got Clemson versus North Carolina in the ACC championship. Okay, so now the Big 12 championship, you have TCU, and they're now awaiting their opponent, who's either going to be Kansas State or Texas. Now, Kansas State just has to beat Kansas, and if not, they would need Texas to lose to Baylor. And then Texas has to beat Baylor, and they would also need Kansas State to lose to Kansas. So now Pac-12, let's see, USC has already punched their ticket. Yes, now it's down to Oregon and Washington. Now, of course, Washington did just beat Oregon. So, but Oregon only has one conference loss. Washington has two. So Oregon just needs to beat Oregon State, and if not, they would need Washington to lose to Washington State. Now, Washington needs to beat Washington State, and they would also need Oregon to lose to Oregon State. So, anyway, and now Big Ten, the East is very simple. The winner of the game between Michigan and Ohio State is in. And let's see now. The West is a lot more complicated. It would be Iowa if they lose. If they beat Nebraska, but if not, it would then go to Purdue. If they beat Indiana, if not, it would go to Illinois. If they beat Northwestern, if not, it would go to the winner between Minnesota and Wisconsin. So now I would have Georgia beating LSU for the SEC. Say Clemson beats North Carolina for the ACC. I'm going to say Ohio State beats. I would say. Yes, I forgot to tell you who I would have winning. Let's see. Yes, I would have Ohio State winning the East and Iowa winning the West, and I think Ohio State beats Iowa. Let's see. I I would have TCU and Kansas State playing for the Big 12, and I think TCU wins. And then I would also have, let's see, Pac-12, USC versus Oregon. And I think I would have Oregon beating Southern Cal, and the Pac-12 eliminates themselves from the playoffs, because that would be the most Pac-12 thing that could happen. So in the playoffs, I would have 1 Georgia, 2 be Ohio State, 3 TCU, and 4 Clemson. And I think Georgia beats Clemson in the Peach Bowl, and I would have Ohio State beating TCU in the Fiesta Bowl, and then would have Georgia beating Ohio State in the national championship in LA. So, and you can call me a homer if you want to, but yeah, I think we're winning the national championship. So, which yes, that was not my original prediction. My original prediction was that it would be Alabama versus Ohio State in the national championship, and I had Ohio State winning. Alabama and Ohio State are both not as good as I thought they would be, and Georgia is a little better than I thought we would be. So, but anyway, so thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all again next time.